Hey guys, Mitch here. Before we get to the episode, I just want to give you guys a quick apology. The audio in this episode is going to be a little bit off. Apparently when I recorded, the audio in my headset was fine. Everything was level, but apparently on the recording side of things, it was not. So I want to apologize ahead of time for any sort of audio issues. I have ironed them out. It is going to be better in the future, but I'd rather give you guys a heads up now that my audio might not be the best, but it'll be better going forward. All right, on with the show. What's going on, people? Mitch here, and welcome back to Growing Up Gaming, your monthly podcast where we meet a new person of the internet to discuss their childhood with gaming and how it inspired their lives today. This week's episode, we have our guest. Her name is BB_Makita, or as I just call her, Makita. Makita is another person that I met through raiding. Again, love raiding new people. Saw her stream. She's really good at Apex, really good at Call of Duty. So definitely wanted to give her a raid, and I'm very happy that we did end up meeting. Since I've met her, she's continued to grow her following. Her TikToks, her YouTube shorts, her short form content has been blowing up, and I'm very, very excited for you guys to be able to listen to her story and see where her journey started. Remember, if you guys want to be on the show just like she was, go ahead and send me a tweet at MitchPower1116 or at the podcast Twitter page, which is at GUG Podcast. Of course, you can also message me on Twitch. You can send a YouTube comment. You can go ahead and join the Discord. There's plenty of different options. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate it. And without further ado, let's get things started with BB Makita. Do you remember what got you started playing games? Do you remember, was it a family member? Was it a friend? Was it who piqued your interest initially playing games?
Oh my gosh. I had older cousins. They were probably 6 to 8 years older than me, and they were like hardcore, like Call of Duty, like screaming in the mic at each other type gameplay.
Okay.
I didn't really venture into that realm early on. It was more like iDogs for me. You know, on the Nintendo DS, you had the little iDogs.
Nintendogs? Oh my God.
Nintendogs, yes. That I would say is probably like my first game that I ever played was the iDogs. Yeah.
Now I have a question. Did you learn all of your Apex rage from your cousins then in an early age? Is that where that came from?
Honestly, I think I probably learned it more from John, if I'm
Got it.
real, because I'd never raged like that early on.
Right.
Until John and I started playing like competitively together. I would see him do it, and then I gotta let out this inner demon somehow too. And I just started I chameleon John a little bit from time to time. He'll look at me, he's like, I say that, you can't say that. I'm like, I don't know, I thought it was cool.
Right. So hold on though. Here's the thing that worries me, right? You're how old when your cousins are going ham in COD? 7?
Probably like 7, 6, 8. I just remember I'd walk in and they're teenagers at this point, right?
Sure.
Boys. And they are just cussing at the mic. They're playing online. My cousins and I are playing with, Bratz dolls and stuff at this point still. And we're just listening to them go ham.
You're pretending to play with dolls and they're like, you stupid motherfucker, blah, 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 blah.
Yes.
And then your parents are like, oh, they're just hanging out with their cousins, having a good old time. Meanwhile, you're in there learning the ropes of Call of Duty trash talk.
Yes. Literally.
That's hilarious.
They did probably influence a lot because my cousin and I were very, very close. We were only 4 months apart, and her older brother got her into Pokemon. So her and I got into Pokemon cards. I literally have never seen what is the anime Pokemon? The
actual show.
I've never even actually watched the show.
Mm-hmm.
And I only know a handful. I was very girly. I only know a handful of the cards because they were cute. Eevee was my favorite.
Of course.
And I was into Pokemon in that sense.
Right.
But only for the cute cards. But they definitely did influence quite a bit. One of my first games playing was Halo. We never played online because that was too dramatic. But we would play the campaign and we would stay up for hours and hours and sometimes all night trying to finish the campaign. And then we would increase the difficulty level.
Right.
And then play the campaign through again.
Yeah. Those campaigns, especially my favorite part on those Halo campaigns is when they added the skull difficulties. So it wasn't just making the enemies harder. It was adding skulls to make it even harder, like just adding more to it. Some of those skulls were fun of just, the grunt birthday party, just explosions every time you shot a grunt's head off, which was of confetti and stuff. But no, like those, obviously the Halo games are awesome. And like those campaigns, I remember I was talking about it on stream the other day, like top campaigns, like first person campaigns. And obviously those Halo ones were top tier, like
so good.
Especially couch co-op, like playing with people together, which unfortunately they kind of got rid of that with the other Halo game, the couch co-op part at least. But no, like those Halo games were fun. So then did you have, you mentioned you had a DS. So were you playing the Pokemon games themselves then, like as well? You didn't even play the Pokemon games.
No.
Wow.
I think I played Pokemon Go when it came out on the Apple Store.
Right.
Maybe it was like 8 to 10 years ago or something like that.
Sure.
That was like the first Pokemon game that I've ever played. We had like legitimate cards and we would like be the Pokemon and fight each other.
Got it.
In real life.
Got it. Fuck playing the card game. She was Eevee in real life, ladies and gentlemen.
I was real life, Eevee fighting my cousin.
Nice. Were you reading the attack on the card and going tackle? Like what were you?
Pretty much, yeah.
There's a whole card game where you can play it though, right? That's a thing, right?
I never played it ever. We had Pokemon cards. We didn't know how to play the game. We made our own game.
Right. No, I mean, that's what kids do when you're younger. I mean, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. I actually played, I was in middle school and Pokemon cards came out and like everybody, that was back in the day when like we got in trouble for bringing Pokemon cards to school because we were straight up like hustling and bustling Pokemon cards in the middle of class and shit. We'd be like, yo, what you got, man? What do you want to trade for? Like, no one fucking paid attention in class when Pokemon cards came out. So were they the point they were like, you can't bring them to school because we're just too distracted. But like, I went to like, I actually played the card game though. And we went to like a comic book shop, did tournaments, all that stuff to the point where, and I've said this before, I'm not going to name the comic book shop for legal purposes, but the comic book shop actually said, hey, you're one of the more like mature people that come here. Do you want to work the Pokemon tournaments? We'll pay you in Pokemon cards. And I was just like, I'm like 13, 14. And I'm like, that sounds like child labor, but sure, Pokemon cards sound good. So like, they actually used to do a Pokemon League where it was like the Wizards of the Coast, which is the card company. They used to run a tournament, like almost like it's like a club where you would show up, play Pokemon with your friends. They would give you gym badges like the video game, like pins that you would put on you that were gym badges from the game. Like it was super cool, but like, yeah, basically they were just like, we need help. We can pay him in Pokemon cards. And I said yes, because I was already going there every Saturday anyways, so I didn't give a shit. I'm like, why not?
Pokemon cards.
Exactly. Pay me in Pokemon cards, and I'm already here to begin with. Sure, why not? But I won't name the comic book shop because that's absolutely child labor and illegal. But we don't even talk about it. It was like 20 years ago. It's probably statute of limitations is all. Is there a statute of limitations on child labor? I don't know. But yeah, we're fine. So you got the DS. So I'm assuming, so you said your cousin was the one that was like, obviously she was influenced by her brother. She's playing games. You guys are playing games. So besides, and by the way, Nintendogs, I want to point out something. That is where I started loving Huskies, was from that game. So like so here's how you can tell the difference in our age. I worked at a video game store when Nintendogs came out. You were a child playing them. It's okay. I'm old as fuck. Don't worry about it. But when those came out, there was 3 different versions of the game that had different breeds of dogs in them. And one of them had a husky on and here's how stupid I was. I knew dogs were different, but I didn't realize how many different breeds there were until that came out. And then I saw a picture of a husky on the cover and I was like, that's my favorite dog. They just look fucking awesome. They're the coolest looking dogs I've ever seen. And ever since then, that's where I fell in love with huskies. And then that's where I got 4 of them. So yeah, like that. Thanks Nintendogs for shaping my stream logo and my love of husky dogs for the rest of my life. So yeah, they're awesome dogs. And like I said, it was cool to take, again, on the DS, it was a fun game to play. Like, you know,
Yeah.
and it wasn't
So
like,
fun.
it was fun. And it wasn't like sad if you didn't play it for a while. It wasn't like a Tamagotchi where it's like, I'm dying if you don't feed me type of deal. It was just like,
But like, are the Nintendogs still alive today? Like, I saw a meme, right, that said all Nintendogs are dead at this point because we haven't fed them in like 15 years, maybe 20.
how fucked up would it be if you just showed up, you turned your shit on, and he's like, where the fuck have you been, dude? I'm starving. That would have been awesome. Your dog just shows up like, what the hell? We were friends. Why'd you leave me? That would be awesome. I don't have my copy of Nintendogs anymore, but I would love somebody. I'm sure that's a YouTube video. Go turn on Nintendogs.
Put it to the test.
100%. 100%. Yeah, the world needs to know if your Nintendog is still alive somewhere. Oh my God. So then you had your own DS.
Yep.
Then with you playing games with your cousin and stuff, did you kind of migrate to having your own home console at your place? Like, were you actually hanging out with your cousins all the time to the point where like you were over there constantly hanging out? Or was it like we'd hang out and you were over there all the time?
Constantly. Well,
Nice.
I was raised by my grandparents.
Okay.
And so they had me, and then they would have all the cousins come over, you know, give the parents a break. And I was just already over there. So all the sleepovers,
Nice.
everything. So we were all together 24/7, essentially.
That's cool. That's really cool. I have cousins, but I definitely didn't see them all the time. Definitely didn't see. Like, I had cousins in Texas that were super awesome. Like my aunt and uncle are phenomenal people. They have 5 kids. I don't know how they raised 5 kids to be the most respected, well-adjusted kids I've ever seen in my life. Because me and my sisters were just mean to each other and all this stuff. And every time I would see them, all 5 of them are just so nice and loving people, and they don't yell or fight. And I'm like, what witchcraft did you do to make this happen? Because they're just so nice. Even when like I visited as like an adult and my kids came, they were just like, oh, hey, let's all play. I'm like, you guys are so nice. It's insane. I don't think you've ever done a mean thing in your life. That's crazy. But no, I'm glad you got to. Did you ever have any like brothers and sisters yourself? No.
I did not, but my cousin was essentially like a sister to me. My aunt held her back because she's only 4 months older than me, but she was supposed to be in the grade above me, and she held her back. So we were in the same grade and we went to the same school.
Nice.
We were just together 24/7. So she was essentially like a
sister
to me.
Absolutely. No, that's awesome. Like, yeah, that's really cool. At least, you know, because I mean, you got to hang out with them all the time. So were the game consoles and everything at your grandma's house, or did they bring them with them? Oh, they were at your grandma's house.
They're at my grandmother's house. The boys had their own, and you know, I would go to their house as well from time to time. But yeah, I eventually upgraded to a GameCube. That was my first like console that I had, and I wore that thing out. Like, I wore it out. I can't even remember all the games that I played on it, but I know the one that I remember the most is the Mario Kart soccer game. So it was like Mario Brothers.
Mario Soccer. Super Mario Strikers. That was the name of it.
That one. Oh my gosh. And I played soccer growing up in school.
Nice.
So soccer was like a big thing for me, and I kicked everybody's ass at that game. They could not beat me at all. That was my favorite game, probably of all time.
It's so funny because like when I think back on the like soccer, for example, I didn't play soccer. Didn't necessarily care for it. But if Mario had a soccer game, I was fucking playing it. Like, it didn't matter. Like Mario Soccer, like Mario Strikers was such a fun game. And I remember the demo, we put the demo in the, you know, at the game store, and like people played the shit out of it and people loved it. And all the special powers you would get, like to do wild shit. Like, it was such a fun time. And like, but again, it doesn't matter. Mario Baseball. I don't give a shit about baseball. You put Mario in it? Done. Yeah. I'll play a Mario baseball game all day. It's so fun. And like Nintendo does such a great job of like, even if you don't give a shit, like they make it fun to where it's very arcadey and like anybody can pick it up and play, and you can feel like you're having fun even if you don't really. And again, like it's not like so strict on the rules. You know what I mean? It's like very loose on the rules and stuff. So that was cool. Like, did your grandparents, like, I mean, obviously they had a bunch of people come over to play video games. Did they ever have a problem with you playing games like, you should do something else?
Oh no, my cousin and I, we would go to the gas station. We'd get the BFC monsters. It's
Yeah, I do.
big fucking
Big fucking
cans,
cans.
bro.
The ones that are
Ones that
literally like
open
this
that
big.
yes. And you open the top and it like
Uh-huh.
you know what I mean. I can't think of
it didn't have like a normal it had the like it opened like a cryo
nitro,
chamber.
like,
yeah. It opened like wild.
No, we would get like 4 or 5 of them, and we would stay up all night gaming. And my grandparents really didn't care. They let us live our best life. We'd play Halo all night. We'd be up for 24 hours where our eyes are bloodshot red because we've been drinking monsters all night. They probably think we're crackheads in there.
Definitely healthy for a teenager to be drinking that much Monster, though. 100%. Doesn't do anything health risk-wise or anything. I get yelled at as a 37-year-old man drinking 2 a day. They're like, you're going to die. I'm like, I'm not going to die. It's fine. But no, like, those, like, that was the same thing, though. Like, I mean, those sleepovers of, like, having somebody, I went to, like, my friend's house to do the gaming, right? Like, my sisters didn't really play games. But, like, I'd go over to my friend's house and it would just be, you got a 24 pack of Mountain Dew. We're going to stay up all night. We're going to fucking play No Mercy on N64. And we're going to get yelled at by your parents at least 5 or 6 times for being too fucking loud. Because Bob's going to shut the fuck up. like, okay, I'm sorry, Gail. My bad. I apologize. But no, those are the best days and everything as far as it goes when it comes to like just staying up, playing games. And those are like, I miss those days, but at the same time, thinking of like staying up all night brings me like anxiety. I'm just so old. I'd be like, I do those 24-hour streams and literally I hit a wall and that wall is hard. I'm just like,
I don't know how you do it. I mean, by 11, 12 o'clock, one of the guys that we play with, he's like, I've been counting you and Dilla's yawns and y'all yawned 35 times. And I'm like, and he thinks it's fun. It's a game to count how, because Dilla's going to bed way before me, right?
Right.
He's a grandpa. I'm a grandma too, though. It's like 11. I'm like, oh, I'm so tired.
I like how you say that. And meanwhile, I am straight up like, oh no, you have no idea how, like, I'm upstairs at 9 and I'm on my phone playing around until 10 o'clock and then I go to bed. But I'm also up at 4 in the morning trying to go to the gym. But again, being up at 4 in the morning is also a very old person ass thing to do because old people wake up early to do God knows what. I don't know what the fuck old people do when they wake up at 4 in the morning. I'm going to the gym, but I don't know what old people do.
You know what my dad told me the other day? That he wakes up at 4 a.m. He gets his cup of coffee. He goes and sits on the back porch and he just sits there with his coffee for like 2-3 hours because it's the only quiet time he gets throughout the day.
I think if you get older, I mean, as you get older, I bet that's like so much more appreciated, right? To like, just like, I ain't doing shit. Like just retire, just like.
Just staring in the trees, like into a wall.
I think you see a squirrel back there. You're like, cool.
Look at that squirrel.
Look at that squirrel living his fucking life. So am I. You know what I mean? Like that's probably what it is. My favorite thing is there is a old guy down the street, definitely retired. And I appreciate his like retirement because he has a schedule to a T. Every Monday at 8 a.m., he's out there washing his truck. Did he drive his truck? Maybe one time, but he's out there washing it. It's his yard every Tuesday. He's out there trimming his bushes. It's like it's like super militant schedule, but I respect the fuck out of it, dude. I'm like, you're up doing things. Like you're up being active, doing something. Did you even drive your fucking car that week? I don't know, but it ain't going to be dirty. That's it. He's washing it every fucking, I'm like, dude, good for you, man. Like that's the type of person that I want to be when I retire, but also at the same time, it sounds bad, but as a person my age right now, I just sit there and go, do like a week off work to just fucking stare at the ceiling sounds awesome. To just do nothing and just be like, oh my God, this is the best day ever. That'd be awesome. So I think when we all retire now, that's the other thing too, is now that we're all like video gaming and we're playing games all the time and stuff, when we retire, we're probably just going to play games all fucking day in the retirement home. Like retirement homes, when we get there, are going to be lit. They're just going to be like full of fucking consoles.
Party going.
RGB PCs fucking everywhere. You know what I mean? Like everything's going to be awesome when we go to retire. Except for then we're going to be those kids that would be like, these kids with their new VR, because Ready Player One will be a fucking thing by the time we get old enough to retire. Remember like the Back to the Future, like that's a kid's toy because he was using a controller. Yeah. That's gonna be us with like this fucking thing. You know what I mean? Where they were like, what's that? You use your hands?
Keyboard.
Yeah, exactly. Imagine. Oh man, like I mean, it's already getting weird with VR. You can do like the hand tracking with VR it's cool. It sucks so much that VR is so cool because I see it. Like they do Minority Report shit now where like you can wear it. And I saw somebody like doing the laundry and then they look over and there's a fucking giant screen of YouTube right there. And it's like in real time, they can just fold their laundry. They can look over, they go downstairs and they grab the screen virtually and just walk down the stairs, put it right here while they do dishes. I'm like, this is the coolest fucking thing ever. But then I know for a fact, if I had that, my family would be like, can you fucking take that thing off your head so you could talk to us? Like, I wouldn't want to take it off. I'd be like, no, I can watch, like I could turn to my right and there's everything right there. It's wild the shit they have now, but
yeah. See, the screen time though, that's why I'd like to get like a book, something, not a Kindle, like an actual book to read, because with working all day and looking at, you know, a laptop screen and then gaming all weekend, then you get in bed, you look at your phone, you're watching TikToks and YouTube. It's like, right. Jesus, I've been looking at a screen for like 14, 15 hours.
Easily.
And then you do a VR headset that's like this close to your eyeballs. Like,
there's definitely going to be vision problems. Yeah, there's definitely going to be like an evolution of vision problems down the road, like easily.
It's already started.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I can tell you. Oh, my God. When I started doing this new job that I have, I'm just looking at Excel all fucking day. And like, I didn't realize it, but like my glasses, I don't need, just want to point this out. I don't need them, but they are nicer with glasses. The way I explain it, my eyes are 1080p, with the glasses, they're 4K. I can still see, I can still make things out, but it's super duper sharp when I wear the glasses. However, what I didn't realize is literally that blue light shit. When I did not wear my glasses all day working, staring at Excel on these giant fucking monitors I have. And I got done with work and my brain was just like mush. I'm just like, oh. And my wife's over there busting her ass doing massages, right? And then she's like, how can you be tired? I'm like, stare at Excel for 8 hours and talk to me. Like, just stare at a white Excel spreadsheet for 8 hours and tell me how you feel, because it sucks.
Do some pivot tables and then you'll hate your life.
Yeah, exactly. It's just terrible. But no, like I said, she always gets like, I'm like, your job is physically draining. Mine's just emotionally draining and mentally draining. I'm just like, ugh.
Spiritually a little
yeah,
bit.
Soul crushing slightly. But then you're right. Because after we get done working, what do? I stay right in this fucking chair and I just go soup doop games now.
Literally.
So yeah. And then when I go to bed, yeah, you're right though. Like we're going to definitely need new vision when we get older. LASIK won't be enough. They're going to have to invent new versions of LASIK for us by the time we get to that age. Yeah. Like it's going to be real bad. But
maybe Bubbles off of what's his name? I think it's Bubbles, right? Bubbles off of Trailer Park Boys.
Yes, with those Coke bottle glasses. Those fucking magnified glasses. All of us there. Exactly.
Yep. Still exactly. Games in the retirement home.
Oh, we're not stopping. We're just gonna find new ways to do it. Like,
make it work.
Like that was like my favorite. Like I was playing with Buzz the other day, and we were playing, and we weren't doing so hot. All of a sudden, he's like, "Man, it's getting late." I'm like, "It's 6:30. Like, what are you fucking talking about? It's 6:30. Why are you saying it's getting late?" He's like, "My eyes are tired, bro." I'm like, yeah, we're just getting old. We're just getting old, but it's okay. Back when we were days, you know, like you said, those monster cans, staying up all night. I did it every weekend. Oh, yeah. Like every weekend. I'd be like, we have Mountain Dew, right? Like, can we just stay up and play Metal Gear all day? Like, it was amazing. So you were saying you had your GameCube. You guys were playing Mario Strikers. You remember that. You don't remember much else though, other than that.
Oh, well, you know, there's a couple of like core moments and core games that I played when I was younger. I do think like games have always been a part of my life, because even when I was 4 or 5 years old, I was on my mom's computer, like old dinosaur computer, playing Minesweeper and Solitaire.
Right.
That was all the game I had access to
right.
Start.
Built into Windows. There you go.
Playing it though.
Yep. Something.
Having a grand time.
Right.
But yeah, no, Mario was definitely a fun one. I also played Nancy Drew games. Those were
Nice.
probably my favorite. Like the PC, you
Mm-hmm.
have to buy the little
The
disc.
discs, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Because Steam wasn't a digital thing at the time. God forbid.
That's
That
right.
was
Yep.
nowhere near a thing at that time. Nope.
Nope. I had a literal case full of all of these Nancy Drew games that I
Nice.
would play. I think there's at least like 15 of them.
Mhm.
And one of them, there's a poem that I had to decipher in the game, and I had a school project to write a poem. And I took the poem from the game and turned it in, and I got an A+.
Allegedly, she plagiarized a Nancy Drew game. Allegedly, in case teachers or school board members are watching us, allegedly.
Can't prove it.
Can't
There's
prove
no
it.
proof.
She's just joking, guys. She's not being real at all. This is all fiction. Don't worry about it. This whole show is not real. This is all just made up stories. Don't worry about it, school board. I plagiarized Nancy Drew for a school paper.
I did.
That's
Yeah.
cool. I mean, that's fine. I mean, I'm sure. I mean, everybody's guilty of it somewhere. I mean, nobody just did everything on their own. So whatever. When you were growing up, were you outwardly like, I play video games, or were you? Because the one thing I will say, and this is always shitty, I have to bring it up. Girls don't play video games. That was like a thing. And I'm like, I always hate, because I can tell you right now, if someone comes up to my daughter and says, you suck at playing video games because you're a girl, I'll be in jail because I'll hurt that kid. Because I can't just, the idea of somebody like shitting on my daughter because she's a girl playing video games would fucking, I would want to end that kid's life. So, allegedly. So, did anybody ever give you shit growing up, or like, did you kind of just keep it to yourself?
I don't think anyone gave me shit.
Good.
Luckily, I was a pretty popular kid in school, and they all would come over to my house and play video games with me. We would play, like Guitar Hero and stuff, and it was boys, girls,
Good.
everybody in the neighborhood. So
we got the prom queen on the
boys,
show. That's
though.
awesome. I'm super happy to know that we had the popular girl on the show. Good job. She's like, shut the fuck up. Just in middle school.
In high school, I was hell on wheels, and nobody liked me.
Oh, were you the inspiration for Mean Girls?
No.
Okay, that's good.
I just turned into a party kid.
I
was partying my ass
that
off.
one. Project X was inspired by her parties. Got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a crazy movie, by the way. If you haven't seen that movie, go watch that movie. That movie's fucking crazy.
Yeah, I was in high school, and I made my stepmom take me to that movie, and she watched it with me. I was like 14.
And you were like, I've done better, and just left. You're like, I've done better.
This is a mid-party.
Yeah, what the fuck? This looks like light work. There's shit on fire, whatever. The town's still up. Relax. But no, so like, was there ever a point in time then where you kind of slowed down? Was it in high school then when you started not playing games as much? Like, you just found other shit to do that was more fun? Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, I'd rather drink and smoke pot and do
Right.
stuff like that and party. And so I stopped playing video games, and then moved down to Austin and ditched the party life and refound my love for video games. So
it's so crazy because like that's almost the same thing with me. Like I played video games up until high school, except for mine wasn't partying, it was skateboarding.
okay.
Tony Hawk. I played Tony Hawk, the video game.
Tony Hawk too. I forgot about that until just now.
Those games are amazing. Those games are incredible. That game, by the way, let's talk about that. Tony Hawk soundtracks to this day still are some of the most fire fucking soundtracks in video game history.
Bangers.
They're so good. I've like listened to so many bands because of those soundtracks. So whoever it was at Neversoft that did the fucking soundtracks for those games, thank you. You literally showed so many people, so many bands. Like my favorite band to this day got featured in Tony Hawk, and I was like freaking out because they were, I grew up in Illinois, Rockford, Illinois. The band's from Chicago. They would show up to the skate park and play. Like, imagine a music video of a band showing up to a skate park, playing their set while people are skateboarding. That was every Saturday night for me because the skate park let bands do that, and it was fucking awesome. And they had like Pennywise, and they had like big punk bands show up and do it, but then they had smaller bands from around the area show up. And Rise Against, who's my favorite band, I've seen them play like 10 fucking times, but like 7 of them were from that skate park. And then all of a sudden they were in like, I think it was Tony Hawk 2 or 3. They were all of a sudden in there and I was like, holy fuck. Like they made it in a way. Cause I'm like, every band wanted to be in a Tony Hawk game at that time. Cause they were just like, it's fucking Tony Hawk. And then like they blew up and I was like, so happy to see them blow up, and they're still awesome to this day. And I still like them, but Spotify playlists are available for each of the Tony Hawk games.
Really?
Just go look up Tony Hawk 2 and it'll have a playlist of all the things that are in there, and you'll listen to, like, it sucks because it's like back in the day when Tony Hawk games were like the first 2 minutes of the level, that sometimes was all the music you heard. So like, I don't know about you, but like I would hear the first 2 minutes of a song and I'd be like, yeah, I remember this. But then afterwards, the rest of the song you would never hear because it would just stop playing when you're fucking playing the game. And I'm like, oh yeah, I guess there are more songs that are 2 minutes long. I don't remember this part of the song at all. But no, those Tony Hawk soundtracks are fucking killer. You know what sucks? I feel like it doesn't happen anymore. All of those soundtracks from like the 2000s, like all the EA Sports games had that type of soundtrack. All the Tony Hawk games, all like just licensed music. It was so fucking good. It made like, there was like the motocross games had it. All the NFL games, Burnout 3, which is one of my favorite games, that had like a crazy good soundtrack. And again, still music I listen to on my Spotify because I've officially hit that age where new music sucks and I just like my music. I'm there, guys. Because I heard some new music, some new rock shit, and I'm like, I'm good. I'll just listen to the same shit I was listening to 10 years ago. It's fine.
I'm kind of hitting that phase too, though.
Are you? Yeah. You know what, though? It doesn't matter because, like, that music still rocks. It doesn't matter. Like, you can still go back and listen to that music that you love, and you're like, I still love this. Like, I loved it the first time I heard it. And then, yeah. But, like, yeah, I heard some, like, I was into, like, punk and pop punk and, you know, Blink-182, Sum 41, Rise Against, Newfound Glory, all those things. And some new stuff's cool. But then, like, the newer, like, I used to also like Slipknot, you know, Korn, all that stuff. Right. And the newer rock stuff, I'm just like, I'm okay.
I found a couple of new rock bands that I like because I'm a rock girl at heart. Like, my mom raised me listening to like Alice in Chains, Leonard Skinner, like that type of
Sounds
rock.
like an awesome mom, just saying. That's pretty good.
Then I moved into, you'll laugh, like Creed, you know, Slipknot, like
not laughing.
Kind of that era.
I was there with you. I was there with you. Yo, that Creed album is fucking fire. I don't care what anybody says. You can make fun of Creed all you want. I don't give a shit. That first Creed album, Human Clay. Was it Human Clay? I think it was. I don't know. That fucking album is fire. It's so good. I listened to it on a bus ride, on a field trip, in a CD player because I'm old, and it was phenomenal. And I don't care what anybody says. It's great. But you can make fun of Creed all day long at that Dallas Cowboys game, though. See, by the way, Makita's a Cowboys fan. I just want to point that out. That Dallas halftime show, that Creed halftime show, have you seen video clips of that?
It's an old school one, right?
Yeah. It's weird.
I think I saw a clip resurface on TikTok. It was talking about like 10 years ago, this is how the halftime shows were. And it was Creed. But it was like all the lights were on. It was sunny outside. Yeah. No, I saw like a small like a clip of it, but
it was like a halftime show of like the Thanksgiving game. You know what I'm saying? Like it's one of those halftime shows where it's like not full production.
Yeah.
The lights are, all the house lights are still on and shit. You're just like, I guess we're just watching Creed play on the 50-yard line. Okay, this is weird. But no, that
white wife beater.
Yep. By the way, lip syncing like a motherfucker. Go back and look at them. They're lip sync. It's so funny. But if you don't like Creed, I get it. If you want to Creed's like Nickelback. You can make fun of them, but y'all liked a couple of their songs. I don't care what the fuck you say. One still might be on your playlist, and you hide it from your friends, but it's okay. Don't worry about it.
TikTok where they're like, oh, Nickelback, and then they turn and they're like,
Yep, exactly. The only thing I went too far, I saw somebody in Arizona who had their license plate say Nickelback, and I'm like, okay, guys, pump the brakes. Pump the brakes. That's fucking crazy. If I get a little extra behind that car if I see that license plate in front of me, I get 2 car lengths back. I'm like, all right, we can't get too close to you. That's fucking crazy. So of course, like I said, but like, yeah, to get back to the point, like I play Tony Hawk, and skateboarding in general just took over my life to where I didn't care about video games. I didn't want to play video games. The only thing I played was Tony Hawk games. That's it. Like my buddy's like, Tony, yeah, because it came out every year. It's like Tony Hawk 3's out, Tony Hawk 4's out. You want to play it? Sure. We'd go over to his house, play it, but then the next day we'd skateboard instead of fucking playing Tony Hawk. Like that's what we did. So for like same thing though, like all of high school, didn't give a shit about video games. Didn't care. And then after I got out of high school, I got that job at the video game store and everything came back. I was just like fully back into games like I am now. Like I haven't stopped since then. But so what was it that got you back into gaming? Obviously, like you said, you moved out of the area. So all of those friends were far away and you came back. What was like your reintroduction then to gaming? Like what did you come back to?
Yeah, so this is about the time that John and I got together. And the first game that him and I, well, we wanted to get a PlayStation. So we bought a PlayStation. And the first game that him and I played together was Black Ops 3. And we were playing zombies together.
Nice.
I was also playing a little bit of Skyrim on my own time because I love RPG games. Like I wanted to play something that was very similar to like Fable, and everyone recommended Skyrim. I had never played it before.
Right.
So I jumped into Skyrim when I was solo dolo. And then when Dilla and I were playing together, we would play zombies, and kind of brought back some of that reminiscence of staying up late and just like hard grinding a game for hours. So
that's awesome. Like, and then so when you met your husband, was he like, oh, she plays games too, we're gonna play games all night together? That's awesome.
So excited. Yeah.
He got so excited. He's like, yes, someone who understands. Yeah.
Well, because it's funny, we had roommates at the time, and they're still like our best friends to this day. But anytime we were playing zombies or Skyrim, like she's just like a very girly girl. She would be like sitting on the couch, and like a big spider would like come after me in Skyrim, and she would like scream and like run off. And I'm like looking at her like, girl, chill out. You're fine.
Relax. Although spiders scare the shit out of people in games, man, to the point where they have like arachnophobia mode.
Yeah.
They have to like turn down spiders. I'm like, yo, are you all scared of spiders that fucking much? And apparently that's a thing.
There's some jump scare moments in Skyrim. Let's be real. Like we've all been there for sure. But I know John he was so excited. I remember him saying, quote unquote, he's like, I found someone that will play video games with me. He's like, that I didn't think I would ever find. And a lot of people don't, but they're out there.
Right.
So.
Aw. He's like, I found love. As soon as you said I play video games, he's like, well, guess who I'm marrying? This one, because it ain't getting better. No, I know, because I know definitely there are some spouses out there who don't play games at all, but they understand at least like this is what he does. Like my favorite thing is like some of the TikToks you see out there where it's like, like, go find yourself a nerdy man. You always know where he is. He ain't at the club messing around with anybody. He's just staying at home, fucking playing games all night with his boys. That's who you need to find. And I'm like, yeah, kinda. Like we just, my wife needs to know where I am right here. I ain't nowhere else. Yep, exactly. Yep. And like, that's the thing. Like my wife, she played games, but not, because at the time I wasn't even playing games when I met my wife. Like I met my wife when I was in high school and I was just skateboarding. And funny thing is, if she wants to blame anybody for getting me to games, it's her fault because her brother worked at the video game store. And her brother was a manager at the video game store. And she's like, hey, my boyfriend just graduated high school. She's like a couple years older than me. Don't worry about that though. We're not going to talk about that statute of limitations. My wife's 3 years older than me. We were dating in high school. Shh. Anyways. Amnesia. Exactly. It's not on the internet forever. Anyways. She was like, hey, we're getting our own apartment. He needs a job. Can he work here? And he was like, he saw me. He's like, I guess. Like this clown, I guess I'll help my sister out and her boyfriend. But then I got fully back into games. So now if she wants to bitch that I play games, I just like to remind her, well, this is all your fault. If you just didn't make me work there, I would probably still be skateboarding, doing something. But again, like I'm happy that we do this, but like she plays games, but not to the extent like I do. We'll do couch co-op stuff. We'll do Overcooked. We'll do It Takes Two, Moving Out. her shit's Diablo. Like,
Okay.
when Diablo came out, she's like, don't fucking talk to me. I'm going to be in there playing Diablo while you're working. I'm like, okay. So that was the game. Like, she played that on computer when she was younger. She played Diablo 2 on PC. So like when 3 came out, we grinded. What you're talking about with zombies, that was me and my wife when Diablo 3 came out. Like, she's like, I'm like, babe, it's like 4 a.m. Like, I'm so fucking tired. I have to wake up and work at 8 a.m. She's like, I don't give a shit. She's like, we're still going. I'm like, she's like, I don't work tomorrow. That sounds like a problem for you. I'm like, I guess I'll go to work and just like falling asleep at the desk and shit. But no, that was the, it's cool when you have a spouse that, you know, plays games with you, that you can, you know, enjoy that thing together. Did you ever like, so you got a PlayStation, you were playing Skyrim. So was it a PS3 or PS4?
PS4.
PS4. Got it. Did you at that time, so like, did you play any RPGs then growing up? Cause you had mentioned you liked RPGs, but like, did you really play much growing up? Like other than that?
I feel like I did. So Fable, Zelda, Skyward Sword.
Oh my God.
Played that one. I feel like there's more. I know, and this is more like MMO, but World of Warcraft. The thing is, I was too young at the time to have like the subscription. And so I kept making free new accounts. I would have 7 days. I'd have 7 days to play, and then I'd have to make a new account.
Oh my God. Oh my God. You probably contributed to like fucking 20% of Gmail accounts. You probably just 7 days. That's all you did?
7 days. But I didn't keep up with it because it got way too laborious after a while. But
yeah, because you're making fake emails all fucking day. That's crazy. Hold on. So you didn't have a character longer than 7 days? Oh my God. What do you remember the highest level you got within 7? Did you have that shit nailed down to like a fucking science, by the way? You could probably create a Gmail with your eyes closed. You could probably get from here to here fucking blickety split because you were just like, I gotta get this shit done. I got 7 days.
Well, I was kind of stupid with it because I kept choosing, because I think it's been years. I don't know. And I only played the game for 7 days at a time. So I don't remember much of it. But I think I chose different characters each time. And so I was like having to like relearn how to play every time. But I think this is my most vivid memory of it. I was just going around hunting the wolves. I think that's what I was doing. I was very young at that time. I think I was like 8 or 9. Yeah.
That is fucking awesome. Because you're straight up just making a bunch of accounts just to get 7-day free trials. That's how I feel people do with like Hulu subscriptions now. When maybe that's why they don't do that shit anymore, right? It's like 7-day free, 30-day free. I think they stopped that shit now because of like, oh my God.
Well, yeah, because then like you can binge watch an entire television show in 24 hours and you're like, all right, well, I'll just wait until next year when the next season drops and I'll use a new Gmail account.
Right. That is crazy. Because like that game, what's funny is like anytime I think of that game, I don't think of a 7-day-old character. I think of people that are like, I've put 5,000 hours into this game. You know what I mean? Those are the people I think of every time I think of WoW. And like, I never got into PC gaming. And to be honest, I'm still not into PC gaming. Like I have this computer that can do things, but I'm still a console boy. Like I love my consoles to death. But like, that is so fucking funny because I've never heard of somebody doing 7-day speed runs of WoW. How long do you think you did that for?
Maybe like 2 or 3 weeks. And then
weeks. Okay. Oh my God. I thought you were going to say like 2 or 3 years. I was like, what the fuck are you doing?
No, like 2 or 3 weeks. So it was maybe like 3 accounts. And then I was like, I'm over restarting. Like, I'm going to go find something else to play.
God forbid getting a subscription. You just quit. You're like, I'm done with this game. This is bullshit. That is fucking awesome. That is so awesome.
I didn't play online. Like I didn't know that you could. Like that's how like, I guess just ignorant I was to the gaming world. Cause I played things. I played, you know, like the soccer and the Nintendogs, like everything that you could play, campaigns offline.
Right.
It wasn't until John and I started dating and we started playing online was Fortnite. That was my first like online game that I played.
Got it.
Fortnite. Everything
Fortnite.
else was like campaigns.
Yeah, because everything you've mentioned so far have all been campaigns. And like zombies, you don't have to play online. That's completely, you can play that just couch co-op sitting there.
Yep.
I didn't even think about that. Everything you mentioned before, none of it was online.
Other than World of Warcraft. And
Other than World of
7-day free
Warcraft
trial.
and your 7-day free trial multiple times. That's fucking hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
You think you want to do nostalgia and just make another fake account and go do it again and see what happens?
Just the 7 days.
Just the 7 days. Do they even still offer that?
Yeah.
Maybe after Makita fucking ruined it for everybody. No, I thought you were gonna tell me you did like months of it. I'm like, yo, that is wild.
No.
I remember. Well, all the other things you mentioned too, like GameCube wasn't online. Like, here's the crazy thing. Here's the crazy thing. It actually was online, but yeah, it was online. But only like 5 games. And there was like an adapter. You ever look on the bottom of the GameCube and there's like 5 different things you can take off of the bottom of the GameCube? Have you ever noticed that before?
I don't think I ever did.
Most people didn't, but like on the bottom of the GameCube, there were like 3 covers that you could take off for expansions. Okay. So one of them was a Game Boy player. And it literally plugged into the bottom of your GameCube. You could plug in your Game Boy games into it and play them on your TV. Okay.
Huh.
One of them, though, was a broadband adapter, which was basically like a modem that plugged in the bottom. And there was like, I'm sure there's more, but I think of like 5 to 10 games that were online for the GameCube, which is weird. Unfortunately, none of the cool fucking like Mario, soccer, none of those were online, right? At all. The DS actually did have online, which was crazy because Mario Kart was online for the DS. You could actually play online with other people.
You could play with friends.
Yep, you could play with friends. You know how awesome the DS was? You could do game sharing on the DS. If one person had a copy of Mario Kart, they could play with 8 other people, even if they didn't have the game. It sent the game files. It sent game files to their DS, and they would literally just play the game without the game cartridge in there, and you could literally share that game with other people. It was super fucking cool. At like, and I didn't do this really, but like gaming conventions, you'd see circles of people just fucking playing their DS and stuff, and that's cool. It was super social, and it was awesome. But you're right, not until like obviously Fortnite happens, and like my thing is like Halo 2 on Xbox. That was what introduced it for me. Like Halo Online was fucking the best.
Played Halo and Call of Duty online, so I watched them do it. But I also saw like how intense they were and that it seemed.
Right.
And it kind of terrified me. So I think I just opted to stay offline and just play my campaigns and have a good time.
Right. There's nothing wrong with that. But then so you started playing online though. Fortnite. What a game.
Yes. What a game to
it's
start.
So that's it, man. That is a good game though. I don't care what anybody says. Everybody has their own like weirdness. Like they like this or don't like this. Fortnite's still fucking awesome. It really is. They still did so much for gaming. And I didn't get into Fortnite until I played PUBG. I played it on Xbox and it ran like such dog shit on Xbox. Like it just didn't run well. And then I played Fortnite once and it ran well. And I was like, oh, this is just like PUBG, but it actually doesn't run like shit. I'll just play this instead. And that's what got me into Fortnite. So so at that point though, no couch co-op on Fortnite. Did you and John get a separate, did you do the typical gamer couple thing and have the 2 TVs with the 2, did you have that?
Yes, we did. So we upgraded from our PS4 to like the mini PS4, like
the slim one. Yep.
One. Yeah. And that became mine and the other one was his. And then we ended up getting like another TV, to which then a couple months later, we realized, oh, you're supposed to use like 28 to 30-inch monitors, not a big TV. And so then we transitioned to monitors and now we're here with PCs and that is the evolution. That's because of Fortnite.
It's so funny too, because like, I don't know how that necessarily happened, but like, I remember playing on giant fucking TVs and it was awesome. And I didn't have problems with it. Yeah. And then I don't know what it was. It had to have been, like you said, around, I think just people competitively were just like monitors are better. Yeah. And then once you get a monitor and you see, you're like, oh yeah, this is better than a giant.
They were right.
They were right. The only thing I'll say right now though, the newer TVs, they're not fucking far off. Like I have an
Interesting.
OLED, LG OLED right here, 4K 120. It is, the response time is like almost zero. It's really close. If you want to do more than 120 though, it won't do it. You gotta stick here.
Yeah.
But like I played it on here the other day, just like, because it sucks. I have this fucking awesome TV right here on the other side of this monitor. I never use it. I never use it because I'm always here playing my games in front of this monitor. But like my daughter the other day was playing Spider-Man 2. And I'm looking at that TV. I'm like, fuck, that looks good. Like that looks so clean and good.
Nostalgic.
Yep. And then like I started I'm like, can I just see this real fast? And I messed with it. And I'm like, the response time is really close to a monitor. It's like, but again, but I think also too, when you can see the whole monitor and it's a little smaller and stuff, it's so weird. We went from like small TVs as kids to 65-inch fucking big TVs. Now we're on like 30-inch monitors. Yeah. But these monitors are, come on, dude. Monitors are completely where it's at. So that's awesome though, that, you know, you kind of recognize like, oh, if we both play, we both have to have a console and we both have to have a setup. Cause like that's gamer relationship goals. I've seen so many couples, my buddy Sean and his wife, side by side, identical setups, same TV, same Xbox, same everything. And I'm just like, do you guys really sit there? And they're like, yeah, the only thing is we have to wear headsets or else the other, you can't have volume on 2 different games coming through. Right. So you just got to make sure you wear headsets. And I'm like, so you guys are just sitting there quietly, not talking to each other, just playing different games? He's like, yep. And it's pretty awesome. I'm like, yeah.
It's real though. Like he has the exact same PC as me, just in black.
Nice.
Like identical.
That's awesome.
We have the same monitors, same desks.
That's so cool. That's so cool. Like that's, again, my wife, we don't have that type of setup. She has her own room over there. This is kind of my room here. But like she definitely, I've mentioned this before, playing Diablo 4 when it came out, we played in here on my couch. Okay. On this TV. And then she's like, why does yours load faster than mine? I'm like, oh, I have an Xbox Series X. You have the One X. This loads faster. She goes, yours also looks better. I'm like, yeah, it's the newer console. And she goes, cool. I want one of those in there by tomorrow. She's like, this is bullshit that I don't get to play it like this. And again, and I was just like, I'll have one in there by tomorrow, babe. Went and bought a Series X, put it in there. She's only fucking played Diablo 4 on it. Hasn't played anything else. And I mean, but we use that for like the, which is weird now because I haven't done it in a while, 4K Blu-ray player. Because we have a whole home theater set up in there and stuff. But like, I made sure I got that one for her. But like, she was upset. She's like, what the hell is this? Why does yours look better? I'm like, but you're right. Because again, though, if that's the case where you have that gamer, couple, one can't have one better than the other. Because that'll cause an argument. That'll cause an argument. Why do you have a 4090 and I have a fucking 3090? What the hell? Yeah, that's not happening. Gotta have identical setups.
It's the reason we play games, and it's because we're competitive.
Right. How, like, has a gamer argument ever spilled over to not gaming?
Has it? Oh, I wonder.
Why the fuck didn't you pick me up? You're going to bed angry as shit. Like,
we get in arguments and we will like give each other silent treatments and we'll go to bed angry and
oh no,
we're off the game and sometimes we're not vibing. There's one time we were playing Fortnite and John raged really bad at Fortnite. We had to stop playing Fortnite because he threw fits.
I've had moments like that. I understand.
Understandably.
Sure.
One day I'm cleaning the house. I'm just picking up and I move his desk a little bit where his PlayStation and monitor was at just to clean underneath it. And I see this huge hole in the wall. And he had put in, the putty that you use to fill holes. Like he had tried his best to like fill it, but it's a big hole. The putty's for very small holes.
And it's falling in the hole because it can't cover it up. I know what you're talking about.
And I'm like, what the hell, John? And so I called him. He's like, oh, no, what you talking about? And he tried to hide it and he had hidden it for about a week. So
I have to say, I was a child when mine happened though. Me and my sister, me and my sister were wrestling, and just like I was being an asshole brother and just like messing around with them. And I did a front. She was sitting on the couch. I was such an asshole. She was sitting on the couch, and I just ran and front flipped into her. Just I didn't give a shit. Just ran, and my foot went right into the wall, left a hole. Me and her panic. We're like, Mom's gonna freak out. So we covered it with one of her Britney Spears posters. I swear to God, years went by. That poster never moved. Then after my sister left, my mom was cleaning up her room. Like, actually, my sister had left the fucking home.
Yeah.
And she took down the poster. She's like, what the fuck is this hole here for? So I'm like, that happened like 8 fucking years ago. Crazy you didn't notice that we moved a poster in the wall to right behind the couch right here. Why would there be a poster kind of right there? But it's okay. Yeah. I've thrown a controller one time real bad to where I had to go into work the next day and get a new one. It was a Ninja Gaiden on Xbox. I was in my apartment. I was playing, and it's one of those situations where, and everybody's had this. You are playing all day long and you get to a boss and you just can't do it, right? And then the next day you do it and you do it first try. Always happens to me. But like I was playing this one boss and her name's Alma. She's a bitch. I'll remember that name forever. I was playing and I was getting her this close to health. And then she did some new shit I've never seen before. And I whipped my Xbox controller across my apartment. I just fucking strong armed the shit. I just was like, fuck it. I just threw it down the hallway. I was so fucking angry. But yeah. Like, do you think it was a controller or him punching it?
Oh, he punched it.
Oh, he punched it. Oh, it was, okay. Yeah.
Yeah. There's also a hole in the table one time, like, but it was like one of those like kind of plastic black, like foldable tables. So we bought metal tables. Both, or these are hardwood, have metals. Yeah. We used to have a box full of controllers because those were always broken. His favorite thing to do, and I did it a couple of times as well, because like I said, he was a rager. I didn't really rage a whole lot. He kind of fueled some of that into me. But he would take the controller and just and so he wonders why he has stick drift on all of his controllers.
Oh, no way.
Well,
yeah.
No way. He's broken 2 monitors.
Oh. Yeah.
I broke a monitor once also.
How'd you break it?
I threw the controller down just like, and it bounced off.
Ricocheted off. Oh no. I have to say, like, those are moments where I've done that before. Like the only thing recently, I accidentally hit my monitor. I almost cried because like, oh no, please don't break. Because that's like this monitor, this brand new beauty of mine. I'm like, please don't break. The hole in the desk, you say that, and I laugh because me and my buddy Brandon had that same shitty IKEA desk. That's hollow. That's hollow, right? It's like a door. It's like a door, dude. And there was like, I would get so mad at like work because I was talking to people on the phone and fuck that, and gaming, to where I would just Hulk smash right here on my desk. And I remember looking there and it was like bowed in, broken, right? And Brandon, my buddy Brandon, I told him about that. He sent me a picture. Same thing. Right fucking here on the desk was just it was just broken in. But you're right now, solid wood. If I do that to this, it will fucking hurt a lot, which by the way, I've done a couple times and I'm like, ooh, don't do that again, Mitch.
Should have done that.
The only thing I spiked though, was my headset. One time I just got up and I just took this thing and I just Gronk spiked the shit out of it into this ground. I just was like, fuck this shit. I smashed it in the ground. But then that was the problem is you feel good doing it. But then afterwards, when you're like, I just broke a $300 headset. Oh, that sucks.
For a 5-second moment of anger.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I've been better. I just angrily, I'll swing the air. I'll just get up and start punching the air like, God damn it. You know, I'll do that now because the air doesn't cost money to repair. So it's a lot better off.
Dilla's new thing is he throws his chair, kind of like picks it up very slightly and just like yoinks it. And it just like topples over, and that's his new thing. Broken it. So.
That's true. My favorite thing is Doc gets up and punches his chair. He'll just get up and just fucking punch the shit out of his chair. I'm like, that's not bad. This chair, it's pretty sturdy. You'll probably take it. Yeah. So you guys were playing Fortnite. You guys were playing on PlayStation, raging all over the place. Again, I get it. It happens. Also, builds. Go fuck yourself, Fortnite. I appreciate you having builds as a new game mechanic and then it got way bad and nobody likes builds. If you play Fortnite now, you better play no build. You know what's crazy? Every time I talk to a child who plays Fortnite, they're like, nah, builds. I'm like, you're fucking dumb. No, you don't get it.
That's why I stopped playing Fortnite.
Right. Like literally, no builds is pure gun skill. And I fucking excel there, right? I don't have to worry about the Taj Mahal being built in front of me. I just fucking shoot. And if you shoot straight, you're going to win that game. So Fortnite no builds. If you guys haven't tried it in a while, please go do it. Fortnite no builds. It's actually so really fun.
So good.
So then you guys were playing Fortnite. Where did you guys go from there? Because obviously you play a great game called Apex.
Yes. So funny enough, we had a Fortnite group of friends. It's where the BB originates from. So it stands for Banana Boys because we all would use the Peely skins.
Of course.
Around the map, just
be toxic. It's cool.
Yes. There was like 15 of us. I was the only girl in the group. So Banana Boys, Banana Bitch is what they call it.
Got it. How did that take? Were you okay with that?
I was fine with it. It didn't bother me.
You're like, I'm not going to change the whole group name because I'm a girl. Carry on. And they said it more like joking. Sure.
I think I actually claimed it.
Okay. Well, if you claim it, then that's yours. Yeah.
I can be Banana Bitch.
There you go.
Stands for BB, whatever.
Right.
Well, we were kind of in that phase where Fortnite wasn't really being fun anymore because the skill gap was just so
insane.
High.
Yeah.
It was insane. It just wasn't fun. And Verdansk had dropped. And so we had some friends in the Banana Boys that wanted to go and play Call of Duty Warzone. I was actually the best Fortnite player out of the group. So funny enough, I was more reluctant to switch.
Yeah.
Everybody else wanted to go to Warzone, but I was the best one out of the group and I'd kick everybody's ass at build fights and whatnot.
Right.
And so reluctantly, I finally went over and played Verdansk with them and gave it a try. And then we got hooked and it just from there.
What's funny is so Apex came out before Warzone did by a year. Okay. Yeah. So I played Titanfall. I love Titanfall. Titanfall 2 to this day is one of my top games that I've ever played. I love it to death. Phenomenal game. When I found out they were doing a BR Apex, I was like, done. I'm done playing Fortnite. That day was the day I stopped. I was like, Apex is it. I'd never want to see Fortnite again. Played that. And then a year later, Warzone came out. And my buddies and I played Warzone, but one of my buddies, who I won't call out here, is very ragey with Call of Duty. And he was just like, dude, I'd rather go play Apex. I just have more fun playing Apex, didn't play Warzone. And it wasn't until I found out, because it was also crossplay, Buzz and Dame and all the people that I play games with now, they were all on PlayStation. When Xbox One and PS4 came out, we were all on 360. They went PS4, I stayed Xbox. So we actually for years didn't play anything together. And then we went from playing Gears every fucking day and Call of Duty every day to just not playing games for years.
Oh.
And then I found out that they played Call of Duty and I was like, oh, I know they'll play Call of Duty with me. I know my other friends fuck that game. I don't want to play that game at all. And I was like, hey, can we play? Yeah, it's crossplay. I'm like, hey, we can do this. And they were already on PC by that point. They had said, fuck PlayStation, we're on computer.
Right.
But no, Verdansk is
so good.
It's so fucking good.
I miss it.
I think back on it. I have a video Farewell to Warzone, which is basically before Warzone 2 came out. I made a video of all the Verdansk. I watch it all the time. I'm like, Verdansk was so good. It was so good, and cheaters fucking ruined it, but it was so good. The map is great, and I hate it every time they're like, maybe we'll bring Verdansk back. I'm like, shut up. You tease me. I just want Verdansk back so bad. Although Call of Duty Warzone Mobile came out, and Verdansk is in there. And
really?
It is. and it just came out. As of the recording of this, it just came out like 2 days ago. I downloaded it. I loaded up, and it's Verdansk. And I dropped it our old spot. I dropped it. OG, as me and Buzz and everybody calls it. And I'm like, I'm so happy I'm playing Verdansk again. And guess what? All of the Call of Duty progress carries over. Your guns, you can level up guns on the mobile version. And they carry over into Warzone on your PC. Yeah.
But wait, like Call of Duty has to know that would like be monumental for them, right?
Yeah.
Like if they brought Verdansk back.
Oh yeah.
And I've heard whispers of it, but I had nothing like factual.
Right. So like on the mobile app, they have it. And like the problem was they had another Warzone game before it, but it didn't link with the main game to where like progress carried over and all that shit. But like straight up, Verdansk is literally back on Warzone. And I'm just like, this is, and now again, you're not cross play with people on PC, but cross progression. So all your gun progress, but you can literally grind guns on your fucking phone if you want to now, and then go turn on Warzone on your computer. I'm like, y'all done fucked up. Cause like now I'm gonna be sitting in bed till 2 in.the morning, fucking Verdansking it up. But like, it was so nostalgic when I loaded it up and I was just like, there's Superstore. And everybody fucking dropped super. I'm like, let's go. I want this back. And then I found out you can hook up an Xbox controller. It has controller support, so you don't have to use the stupid touch controls. And I'm fucking a mess right now because real talk, I charged this Bluetooth controller for tonight. Tonight,
you can play
I'm dropping Verdansk at night. I'm gonna put this phone on my chest in bed, and I'm just gonna fucking play with my controller. I cannot wait. But no, if they put Verdansk back in regular Warzone, I would stop playing everything to play that consistently.
Sure. Yeah.
That was such a good time. And like, so you said you were like reluctant, because I get it. Especially if you're like the best in your friend group, you're like, I don't want to leave. I'm good at this game. And then, so did you go over and you were just like, this is it? This is the fucking shit?
I think the first day I wasn't about it. Like the first day, because other than playing like zombies, I didn't play Call of Duty ever. Like I didn't play, the Call of Duty, like the online multiplayer maps. I didn't play any of that until Warzone. That just never was my speed. And so, yeah, I had to kind of adapt to the controls. Fortnite and Warzone, obviously very, very different controls and a different type of game. But Dilla was very persistent of not wanting to play Fortnite and wanting to play Warzone. And I eventually found a lot of love for the game, and then we were hooked. Funny enough, Dilla is actually the first one to play Apex, and this was around its launch. He played it and said it was trash, and I never played it until season 10.
Oh my God.
I started Apex in season 10.
That is so long. Holy shit. Season 10. That's like 2 years into the game.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, that game was way different for you. Yeah.
He said it sucked. And so I was like, all right, we won't play that. And then when Verdansk was going downhill and John and I were like, we don't have anything to play. And we just like stopped playing video games altogether.
Oh,
we
wow.
had a friend who was playing Apex and was like, come play Apex. And I was like, you know what? I'm over Warzone. Like, I'll give it a try.
Right.
Boom.
Yeah. It's so funny to think about like Apex season 1 or season 0, if you want to call it that. Cause I've literally been playing Apex since the day it came out. I installed it. I played it day 1. How that game has changed from like, you used to be able to put a 2.4 on an alternator. You used to be able to put the 410 on a scout. Like, yeah. There was so much weird shit back in the day of like things that you could do. But no, that game is way different. I mean, by season 10 though, like it's cool that you got, I would assume by then, I mean, obviously I would have to look to see like what major changes happened by season 10. Do you remember who the hell the character was in season 10?
It was Seer Meta.
Oh my God, dude. Holy shit. Seer was that. Oh my God. And Seer was everywhere. He was everywhere.
I remember watching a tournament where they said you can't run Seer because of how broken he was.
He was bad. I remember I was a Mirage main for I think like the first 8 seasons. I love Mirage. Nobody knew how to play him. It's like, it's weird when like people say a character sucks and you just in your head, you're like, if you just knew how to fucking play him, you'd realize how good this character was. That's how I felt with Mirage. Everybody's like, Caustic, Wraith. No, fucking Mirage is awesome. Played Mirage for a while, but then in ranked, Bloodhound was again the meta, like scanning, finding where enemies are. The day Seer came out and I just played him in the firing range. I was like, oh, he's my character now. He was everything Bloodhound was better. I was just like, this is crazy how broken this character was. Like the heartbeat was like instant. His throw thing, instant. You could cancel fucking revives. I'm like, yo, this character's nuts. This character's crazy.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah.
That was when I started Apex.
That's nuts. And then obviously, so Warzone at that time then, did they change the map to the 80s version of the map by then?
It was still, because it was still Verdansk, but it was when there was just constant hackers in every single lobby. Like you just constantly were every other game dying to a hacker. Yeah. And I was like, I'm going to destroy all of my life. I can't do this anymore. Like
that literally is the only thing that ruined it. If hackers didn't happen, we would still be playing Verdansk exactly the way it was. Because then they came out with Warzone 2.0, which had the anti-cheat, but then they changed the game mechanics. Like
they ruined it.
They ruined, like literally. And like I will say, Warzone 2 came out. I played it. What ruined it honestly for me is they took out the one-shot snipers because of cheaters. Yeah. Because cheaters could headlock and hit you, and you'd instantly get knocked. So like when they took that out, I was like, this ain't fun for me anymore. Like I love sniping Call of Duty. And then when the new Warzone came out and all my buddy had to say is you can one-shot headshot people and snipers again. I'm like, I'm loading up right fucking now. Let's go.
Put me in, coach.
Put me in, coach. New Warzone is fun. It actually, I do have a lot of fun with it now. Still weirdly cheaters are still happening oddly here and there, but no, you're right though. Like Verdansk was unfortunate. It was just every fucking game. You'd question everything. You'd question everything. Everyone was a cheater. But also, if you just sucked and you got killed, you're like, that fucking guy's cheating. Like, he wasn't cheating. You just suck at the game. But no, like that was the thing that ruined that. And then, so by that time, where did you guys transition to PCs?
So oddly enough, so we were on Apex and I think we were playing Apex ranked for about 4 seasons, around season 14. And we decided to make the switch over to PC. And it partly was because of just wanting a better gaming experience. I was wanting to start maybe dabbling into streaming and just unlock that new option for me. Well, we switched to PC. We hopped on Apex. We realized that Apex has no cross progression. And I was like, oh, I've got to restart my account. I've lost all my cosmetics. Right. I don't know how I feel about that. So we ended up like dabbling a little bit between, I think Warzone 2 had dropped at that point, and this is around December the following year. I got Orion on all my weapons for Warzone 2. Just we were hard playing that, and then Warzone 2 sucked.
Yeah, it really did. Unfortunately, like that's the saddest time of Warzone. Yeah,
it was so slow. Building campers, it just wasn't fun. It just didn't remind me of like that old Warzone. So Dylan and I eventually decided, okay, screw it. We'll just start our PC account. We'll go back to Apex and play on PC, and that's kind of the beginning journey there of PC and Apex. And it's hard on PC because like Warzone across consoles versus PC isn't really much different. No. But Apex is. Like there's just such a vast difference. I couldn't go back to my PS4 and play Apex on it. I didn't even get cross progression because I suck. So it didn't matter anyways. Right. I lost everything on my PS4 account. Everything is gone.
Hold on. Is it there now?
No.
Why?
They wiped it. So I unlinked my account at one point. So when I switched to PC, I was trying to play with my PS4 friends, but they weren't showing up on my friends list. because it was technically a duplicated account.
Yeah.
And they couldn't add me as new friends. So I had to go into the EA and unlink it so then they could send me a friend request and blah, 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 blah. I forgot to relink it when cross progression happened. Got the cross progression migration. Nothing happened because it said, this is a solo dolo PC account. This is her best account. She's got nothing else.
Yeah.
Talk to the devs on like some thread. They're like, we can't help you.
Can you not like try? So you can't even log in on a PS4 and try to link it that way now? Like that's not even, well, I guess not. Like that sucks.
I logged into my PS4 account and it pulls up all my PC cosmetics.
Oh man. Did you have any heirlooms on console?
Cryptos. Okay, so let me redeem myself real quick, okay?
That was the saddest thing I've ever heard. She just goes, it was cryptos. I don't fucking care. Oh my God. That was fucking awesome. Holy shit.
Well, I had not gotten an heirloom yet. There was no free heirlooms. I had none. And there was the event for cryptos. And I just wanted to feel part of. And so I bought it.
Right. That is
not really missing it.
Funniest fucking thing. I was like, do you have an heirloom? You go, cryptos. Who gives a fuck, right? That is hilarious. You just shitted on every crypto main that listens to this show. That is so funny. Don't worry. At BB_Makita. No, but like that is so fucking. That is hilarious. With the cross progression stuff. Bryant hates me. He blames me, but it's not my fault. He had problems doing the Twitch Prime stuff.
Yeah.
And one of the steps on EA's website, Bryant, is to unlink your account and sign back in. When he did that, he lost everything. And he can't, to this day, he can't buy the battle pass. He can't do anything. Like, they gave him all of his packs back. So like when he logs in, it says he has like all these packs, but none of the cosmetics he had. He had Lifelines heirloom, he had all this shit, and like it just so. And everybody wants to say, yeah, Mitch ruined your Apex experience. I'm like, no, I didn't. I did a suggested thing that I read on the internet from EA's website that says to do this. Don't fucking blame me, Bryant. I'm sorry. I felt like a piece of shit. And Bryant's just basically like, yeah, dude, this sucks. The worst part is every time we play, if I mention a cosmetic, he's like, yeah, how's that feel? I'm like, I'm sorry, Brian. It's not my fault. Like, and I'm like, dude, because I can tell you right now, if I lost my account that had the heirlooms I'd have, I'd be at Respawn's front door going, I need to talk to somebody. Like, I'd be fucking fuming. There's no way. But yeah.
Well, and I even was with not getting cross progression. Like, I was talking to like the devs in this cross progression thread, people having issues. They looked into my account and everything to see if they could recover it, and they couldn't. So it's like, well, am I just going to sit here and cry about it and moan, or just leave it in the past, charge it to the streets, new cosmetics? So that's what we're doing.
Right. It's Crypto's heirloom. Who gives a shit? It's Crypto's.
It's mostly the Wraith skins that I wanted.
Yeah. I like I said, that was one thing for me when I found out cross progression wasn't a thing. Crossplay was a thing. I'm like, cool, I can play with my PS4, 4 or 5 buddies, right? But the cross progression thing was the thing that was keeping me from swapping PC, which, to be honest, here's what's shitty. Cross progression happened. And I was like, that happened last season, I think, or the season before that. And I was like, awesome. Now on PC, I have all my shit. Okay. And then literally this season that's coming out, this one that we're currently in now, I was like, you know what? I'm going to swap to PC. And then they added 120 on console. And I'm just like, I know it would play better on PC, but I stream and I don't want my stream being bogged down because the game's running on my computer and I can do this. And I remember Buzz, he's just like, motherfucker, like you were waiting until this day. I'm like, yeah. And then they gave me 120 on my Xbox. So I'll just deal with that. But no, like I still pull it up on PC occasionally and it looks better and it runs faster frames. And I'm like, fuck, I really should do this. But I just worry about my stream. It is really good. That's one thing I'll tell you. Call of Duty was the game that on console and computer, because of how unoptimized that fucking game is, I didn't care. I was like, that runs it just as good as this is. whatever. I don't give a shit.
Yep.
Apex though, totally different situation. Apex runs so much better on computer. It's insane. Same thing with Overwatch. Oh my God, does Overwatch look pretty on computer and on console? Really? It's like, oh my God. It's just, it's what happens when a company gives a shit to optimize their game. Call of Duty.
Yeah, Call of Duty.
Call of Duty.
I literally bought I upgraded my PC for a game. I stopped playing. What the fuck?
What the fuck? Thanks, Call of Duty. Call of Duty's in NVIDIA's pocket. They're like, maybe they'll just buy a 4090 and then we'll all be happy. So what got you interested in streaming?
Well, I talked about doing it when I was playing Fortnite because for a controller Fortnite player, I wasn't too bad. But also I was watching Z Laner when he was a Fortnite player. On Facebook. He was streaming on Facebook. He was streaming with this guy, Dimes Gaming is the one who like introduced me to Z-Laner. I was like, this would be like so fun. Like I want to do this. I could literally game all day, every single day. I mean, who
wouldn't want to do that basically? Yeah.
Want to do that. Yeah.
Right.
But for me, one of my like insecurities used to be talking in front of people and like social anxiety. And it was one of the things I've worked on at work actually, as I've been growing in my tenure and becoming a manager and speaking in leadership meetings. I've been put in a position to be less insecure, be more confident and have less fear around that. And so that was like a pivotal moment where it was like, okay, we're just going to give this streaming thing a try. Because previously that's what prevented me from even wanting to.
Right.
It was more just like a thought, like this would be fun to do. I'm in sales. Do I see myself being in sales for the rest of my life? I made a good career out of it. And that is a path and an option. And I love my job. But I also love this. And there's days when I'm at work and I'm watching a Twitch stream and I'm like, like I wish I could just be doing that.
Right.
And you got to follow your dream, even if, it doesn't go anywhere. Like I've got my foundation, my job currently, but we're going to see where it takes us. So yeah, I think that was it. More just facing my fears and just fuck it, Mackenzie, just do it. Just give it a try.
That's awesome. Yeah, like that. I would say I personally have never had a problem talking to anybody for any length of time. I feel like I was that kid that I wouldn't say I was popular in school, but I could get along with any group, right? Yeah. Goth kids, skateboard kids, music nerds, sports nerds. Like I can get along with anybody and I can talk to you for hours about anything. But yeah, I mean, that's the cool thing about streaming is like just meeting new people, but I get it. Like, I mean, there's people that I know that stream that still have that anxiety, but at least they'll have a mic on, but no camera. Or, that's the one thing that's like me personally, obviously, if people have camera, I feel like you can get more of a connection with the person when you actually see them and stuff. Yeah. But there's still streamers that I enjoy that don't have a camera and it's just cool to get to know people and stuff. And, for the most part, I haven't ran into too many crazy people on the internet. That's a good thing. But no, that's, like I said, I mean, I just do this for fun. Like, I just want a creative outlet to do dumb shit on the internet. Which is why I do things like this podcast and I do dumb things on OBS and stream because I just want to do silly, stupid shit on the internet to make people happy. But no, like, I mean, that's always cool too. Cause like I said, I met you through streaming. We wouldn't be fucking talking if I did, if I didn't find you on the internet. So I'm just, happy that you are, doing really well too. Like your streams are nice. You know what though? The funniest thing is stream quality. I'm such a stickler for that shit. People say like, Mitch, you're an asshole when you go to raid people. I just want to find people that give a shit about their stream and have good quality. I'm just saying it's not hard. Just try to put some effort into it. Change the setting in the OBS. It'll look good. 100%. So when people actually do it, I'm like, yes. And it doesn't hurt that she's also really good at video games too. Like that also helps a lot. You know what though? That's the thing though. It's like some people, like that's one thing I've learned with streaming too. For example, you either have two different things. You either have really crazy crack gameplay, like holy shit, you're really good at this game. Yeah. Or you have really funny people. Yeah. That are they're not as great at the game, but they're fucking hilarious. And then sometimes you get that mix of both, which that's like like Doc, for example. Doc will always be my favorite streamer because he's not the best at the game, but he's the most entertaining person I've ever fucking seen on stream ever. Like
for sure.
And then also his setup is what I dream of. Like the wall green screen, the walk-in setups. I'm just like, all of his setup. That was like, again, like I did a lot of video editing and like film production, and I wanted to get into that stuff when I was younger. And like when I saw like the green screen work he was doing with the scenes and the animations, I'm like, there's no other person that puts that much production into their streams, period. No. It's insane. And it also, he's funny as hell. And yeah. Like Doc's the best. But yeah, I mean, I wouldn't mind streaming being like, I think of it two ways. I would love to have this be my career, but at the same time, I wouldn't want to turn into a job.
That's kind of where I'm at too.
Right.
Because I had to make a decision early last year of like, how much am I going to stream? How much energy am I putting into this? Because I still have to pay my bills, and I still have to put energy into my actual job.
Right.
And I pulled back a little bit of like from posting every single day to posting maybe 2 to 4 times a week. And instead of streaming throughout the week, only streaming on the weekends. And I had to make the decision that this is a hobby. It is something, it's a side hustle. It's something I like doing on the side. I enjoy it. If it turns into something bigger, cool. If it doesn't, I'm not going to get my hopes up and just continue doing what I enjoy. And that's kind of where I'm at right now. So I resonate with that.
I like the one thing I say is like, if say you're younger and you literally have no responsibilities and you don't have a house or a mortgage or a family or anything, then who the fuck cares? Go for it. Go nuts. I wish I definitely started earlier. That's for sure. Like I think about it. I'm like, because I started in 2019 before a bunch of people started in 2020 because of the pandemic. But like, I think back on like, dude, if I started like 2 years earlier, how much more like, cause back then streaming was a thing, but it was like when Ninja was streaming, and like, obviously that was when like it really started blowing up, and then the pandemic happened and it blew up way more. But like, I just think about it all the time. I'm like, fuck man, I kind of wish I went like 2 years earlier. Did it 2 years earlier, I'd have a little bit more of like understanding of things and following things. But at the same time, I have a job that pays my bills that I can't complain about. As far as I got this job, I don't have student loan debt, and it pays my bills. And all this is just fun stuff, right? I have fun. I enjoy hanging out and chatting with people and meeting new people, and that's always the best. So like I said, if I you know, my always thought was if I won the lottery, I would definitely be a full-time streamer.
Oh, same.
I would just sit here for fucking 10 hours a day and be like, I don't care. Everything's paid. I ain't got to worry about shit. Let's go. I don't even care about your subs. I don't care about shit. Let's just have fun. Yeah, just come hang out and have fun. Like that would be the dream, is like winning the lottery. Everybody's like, oh, I'd love to win the lottery. My whole thought is like, yo, if I won the lottery, I would just stream every fucking day. I would have a room bigger than Doc's. I would have a fucking production studio. I would have some wild shit that I would do. That's what I think of. People are like, oh, I would travel. I'm like, no, I want a production studio in my house.
Same.
Yeah.
I would buy a house in full, and it's just bills, and then I would stream. You got to sprinkle in some of the traveling.
Yeah.
Try to touch some grass.
Sometimes. You know, a little bit.
Hey, I just figured out I'm anemic. It's because I work in an office all day and I game all week.
Oh no!
I don't touch grass and I don't get any vitamin D. So we've got to fix that.
Yeah, I live in Arizona where I don't think I have an option. I think the vitamin D bleeds through the walls in this place, because that sun is a fucking menace in Arizona. Yeah. So like, I walk outside and I think I get plenty of sunlight in the short trip to the car. Let's just say that. So yeah. If people wanted to check out your stream or check out any of the stuff that you do on the internet, where would they go?
Oh, caught me off guard there.
Oh no. You're a streamer. You're supposed to promote yourself. You're supposed to do all these things. Yeah.
Hit the follow button. No. Best place I would say is my TikTok. You know, TikTok and Twitch, obviously, BB_Makita. Those are really the two places I'm focused on the most of growing and, you know, creating just my page and, you know, my videos. And
she makes banger TikToks and shorts and all those short form videos. She makes great videos. Yeah, she does. We have a collab that me and her just did that is out right now. But let's just say it's more funny for her and not me. I'll let you guys go find that on the YouTube videos. You know,
it's great.
Yeah, it's great.
The comments too.
When you did that live, I was so fucking mad. I was like, I wasn't mad. Really? No, I wasn't mad, but I was just like, no. I was just like, God damn it, that's good. That's so funny. Got him. It's really good. Oh, before I go, last thing actually, the one question I like to ask people, what is the game that you think of that was your biggest disappointment? Like, is there a game that you like thought about, like hyped for a game and then you play it and it's trash?
I mean, I would probably say Warzone 2.
I was just about to say, after our conversation, Warzone 2.
Because we were game I can think of.
We were all hyped over Warzone 2.
Yeah.
Because we were like, oh, no more cheaters? Yes. Give me Warzone without cheaters. And then you play it and you go, what the fuck did you do to this game? Why is this slow? Why is this movement trash? What is going on? Yeah. No, that's a very valid answer. I'm not even lying. Like that is the whole friend group was like, are we going to pretend to like this game? Like, or is this game fucking shitty? We got Buzz playing Apex. Buzz played Apex before Warzone came out, and he just prefers Call of Duty's gunplay and all that stuff. Sure. But like, Warzone 2 is so bad, Buzz started playing Apex with me. He's like, dog, I can't play this shit anymore. Let's play Apex. I'm like, okay. And then Warzone 3 came out, and now he's just like, yo, Warzone 3, man. Like, we don't need to play Apex anymore, right? I'm like, no, but we do. I need your help. I can't do these randoms. They're terrible. So thank you so much, Makita, for being on the show. I greatly appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
All right. Thanks, Makita, for being on the show. Remember, if you guys do want to check out any of her socials, whether it be Twitch, YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, all of the above, it is at @BB_Makita. Of course, I'll have links in the show notes so you guys can check out everything there. Again, I want to thank you guys for all your continued support. Everybody checking out the videos on YouTube, checking it out on Spotify, Apple Music, all of the above. I really, really do appreciate you guys' continued support. If you guys, again, want to be on the show just like she was, go ahead and send me a tweet at MitchPower1116 or at the podcast Twitter page at GUG Podcast. And of course, on Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, whatever you guys want, however you guys want to get a hold of me, however you guys want to be on the show, make sure you guys get a hold of me and I'll be glad to have you guys on. Thank you guys so much. I greatly appreciate it. And I will catch you guys next month with another episode.